I am Michael Jackson Heimos with Santa Monica's Morgan Wixon Theater, here with a Talkback conversation with Holly and Stephen Weber. Now, this busy married couple have a daughter at home, another baby on the way, and still have time to do shows at the Morgan Wixon. I can't wait to talk to them about how they keep those plates spinning in the air. Hi, you two. Thanks for joining me today.
Hi.
So, correct me if I'm wrong. You two met at Yes, or just one of you were in Yes, or neither of you were in Yes? How did you guys start at the Morgan Wixon?
We met in 1999 doing West Side Story. It was a summer musical, right?
Yeah.
I was, I think, 16, he says, and Steve was over 21.
I was 21.
Okay, 21. So we didn't really interact that much.
Yeah.
But that's technically when we met.
And the Yes program didn't exist. I heard it was created because of Holly.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's cool.
Yeah, I was, my first show at the Morgan was in 1990. And then they put me in at least one adult show, even though I was pretty young. And then I think it kind of got Anne thinking, like, we need a place for the kids.
So Holly, you teach dance. Has dance always been an important part of your life?
Yeah, I started as a gymnast, actually.
Oh.
And then I kind of transitioned into dance as I got into high school and college. And so, yeah.
Steve, your day job is all about finance. How do you juggle a busy job and still have time to do shows at the theater?
It's interesting. Sometimes I work on the weekends, but I usually finish work about between 5:30 and 7-ish. But if I have rehearsal, then I can just I can do stuff when I get home. But my day job is all about working my mind. And then my outlet for like physical activity is theater.
So you don't use your mind when doing theater, is what you're saying? In all your years, for both of you, in all your years at the theater, what's the craziest thing that's ever happened on a show?
I've had two situations where the music went out and we had to continue singing a cappella. That was HMS Pinafore back in the 90s, and then recently on All Shook Up.
Yeah.
Sort of recently. Yeah, not a great experience, but then again, kind of cool. It kind of brings everybody together, and you kind of have to make it work.
Yeah, and for me, it was actually during West Side Story at the Morgan Wixon. Is one time they forgot to turn on the music for When You're a Jet. So we spoke all the lines, then nothing came on, and we were all looking at each other. And then the only person with improv training was the guy who was playing a riff. And then he goes, I'm going to go get Tony. And he runs off. We're like, what do we do now?
So I thought it'd be fun to play a little game with you two since you're a couple. So I've given you questions ahead of time for each other, and you have the answers in front of you, correct? All right, so Holly, I'm going to ask you a question first, and we'll see how well Steve knows you. So, what was the first role you ever did at the Morgan Wixon?
I guess,
If she doesn't know, Steve, I don't know.
Mary Cratchit / young fan.
Steve, show your answer. Ensemble Kids Roll Oklahoma. Oh. Steve, how many shows have you done at the Morgan Wixon?
Are you kidding me? Nope, been doing shows there for over 20 years. I'll give you a range. I want to say between 25 and 30.
We're going to give her a point if she got it in that range. Okay.
Oh, I said 22.
Okay, back to Holly. What is your favorite role that you've done at the Morgan Wixon?
Probably Janet Van de Graaff. It's a pretty fun role.
Couldn't be more wrong. I don't want wanna sing tunes no more. I don't wanna ride moons no more. I don't wanna show off. He left his jacket on that pedestal beside his tiny rusty cup, and I haven't got the strength to pick them up. Oh, monkey, 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 you broke my heart.
Same question for Steve. Steve, what was your favorite role at the Morgan Wixon?
Oh man, that's really tough. At the Morgan Wixon.
He's done so many roles.
Shut up. It's a toss-up between Will Parker and Sir Galahad, but I think I'm going to go with Will Parker.
Yeah.
Holly's happy. All right, last question for Holly. What is your dream role?
Oh, well, possibly The Ship Has Sailed, but I always wanted to be Elle in Legally Blonde.
Oh, wow. Steve, nice. That's great. Steve, my next question for you is, for how many years did you use the black and white headshot photo that was taken when you were 19?
Pretty sure I used it last year. So I got it when I was 8. Well, I don't want to say any years how old I am. I've used it for 24 years. And I have used the color picture when it's the new director that doesn't know me.
Holly?
I said 20.
That is really close enough, though. That's great.
And we did use it in the Jeffries doing the song A Musical,
Oh yeah, the end of the chorus line.
where we
part.
you hold up the headshot and have somebody hold his up, or maybe something.
That was really good. You guys, you did well. You know each other very well. Your Morgan Wixon trivia. So your daughter Lily has been on the Morgan Wixon stage a couple of times. Is that something you hope she'll want to do?
Yeah, definitely. We have her in dance class, and we try to sing with her when we can, and
She's good at matching pitch already.
sort of.
She's 2.
She is too. Yeah, I think it would be fun if she was able to go through the YES program and she shared our hobbies. So.
That's amazing. So you have Lily and you have another one on the way. When are you due?
July 31st.
Oh, goodness. It's going to be here before you know it. What lesson have you learned from theater that you would like to teach your children?
I think the lessons that I've learned from theater are professionalism, just being responsible for yourself and being on time and being prepared. So those are things I'd like to instill in our children.
Before you teach your children, can you teach Steve those things too?
I was just saying mine are strictly unprofessional, where it teaches her to have fun, an atmosphere that's friendly and family oriented, where no one will judge you.
As I said, be on time, I was like, yeah, but he doesn't. We'll drive separately because
You do arrive at rehearsal separately. I thought it was you were coming from work.
sometimes it's
Sometimes
that.
it's fun.
Sometimes it's just I want to be there on time.
What's your favorite memory from the Morgan Wixon?
Well, I have a favorite number that I've done, which was Cell Block Tango in Chicago, choreographed by Crystal Combs.
He had it coming. He had it coming. He only had himself to blame. We broke up because of artistic differences.
and I just had, it was so cathartic and just really, really fun to dance, and I'll always cherish that.
For me, besides meeting Holly,
Meeting Steve.
and having our child already on stage before she was 1, I think it was during the show Spam-A-Lot, where that was just the group of people in that show was just so much fun. That was Spencer's first show, and just Flowers was in it. It was just everybody in it was just having so much fun. Eric threw everything back at us. We bounced ideas off of each other, and we just laughed so much. And that was one of the greatest experiences.
Arise, Sir Galahad.
Oh, thank you, King Arthur.
I feel ever so much better now.
Dennis, what's she done to your voice?
I'm speaking properly now, because I am a knight. You're a planet with the keys. Oh, where is the song that goes like this? Where is it? Where?
The Knights of the Round Table.
All for one, one for all. All for one and one for all.
Well, I thank you so much for joining me today for this quick little talk back conversation. Really appreciate your time.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.